good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the good people of the tube. Hope you're well today. Hope you're feeling grand and all's well in your world. Welcome to A&Q Wednesday, everybody. Before we get into the questions today, I just have to say that this guitar, my Squire, even though it says Fender on it, it's a Squire, do not be fooled. This guitar always has music in it. Always has music in it. Every time I pick it up, it's just like, got you. Love this thing so much. It's such an amazing guitar. It sounds great, plays great, feels great, is great. Just love it. Anyway, I had to bring that to your attention. I don't really know why. I felt like I had to. Anyway, let's get to question one today. So question one today is kind of difficult to answer because I don't really know. So question one today is, how long into your guitar playing journey did you feel like you started to get really good and comfortable with your musical ability? I don't know, because I don't think I'm there yet, if that makes any sense. Like, I know what I can do and what I can't do. I know what I can play and what I can't play. I know my limits as a musician, guitarist. I know my limits as a singer. I know my limits as a performer. So I have all this experience from from 19 years of playing, not only just kind of like practicing on my own at home, but playing live as well. So I understand like what I can do and what I can't do. And I've given up kind of lamenting, if you will, like what I can't do. You know what I mean? Because, for instance, like certain techniques that have kind of fallen away throughout the years, kind of like, my ability to sweep pick, I can't do that anymore. Don't really care. You know what I mean? Initially, when I lost my ability to sweep pick, I was kind of like, oh. But after a while, I was like, well, I don't actually like it as a technique. I hate the sound of sweep picking. If it's slow, it's great. But I actually don't like the sound of it at all. It's got no appeal to me whatsoever. And then I remember like doing 8-finger tapping, being quite good at that. I hated that. And all sorts of other kind of little techniques that are kind of like gone by the wayside. And to me, they've gone because I never used them. You know what I mean? Because guitar and any instrument like this is such a perishable skill. If you don't practice one thing, it goes away. So to me, those techniques have gone away because I never needed them in the first place. And it's not where music wanted me to be. And it's not really particularly where I wanted to be either. I didn't want to be I did for a while. I wanted to be the kind of like, the show-off shredder. But that only lasted for about a year. And I was like more interested in making music and playing guitar so I can get through to people and help people with it. Instead of it kind of like just being, hey, look at me, I'm amazing. I wanted it to be kind of like, hope this helps you feel better if you're having a bad day. Or it makes you feel, embrace your happiness if you're having a good day. Or makes you feel less alone if you're alone. That, my focus shifted on from technique to that, to feel. And I'm really... that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be a feel-based guitarist. I didn't want to be the technical whiz kid on the guitar, which I'm definitely not. And I'm happy with that. I'm very comfortable with not being a whiz kid on the guitar. I can play it to my best ability. It's not good enough yet. We're already looking. As musicians, we're always looking to better ourselves and be better, and just generally push ourselves to that next level. So I don't really know. I mean, when did I start to feel like I got really good? I mean, I don't think I'm really good now. And that's not me being kind of like, narky or funny with myself. But I don't... It's like, I've seen amazing guitarists. And I've seen guitarists who have really affected me, emotionally. Like John Frusciante, Jimi Hendrix, Rory Gallagher, Peter Green, Mike McCready. These guitarists, and it's like, I'm not at their level. And that's what I strive to get to. I'll probably never get there, but that's fine as well. But when did I feel that started to happen? I don't know. I mean, I never really thought about it, to be honest with you. I love playing the guitar. I love playing music. And I don't really think about that anymore. When I was younger, not old Dave, when I was kind of starting out, that was kind of thing about, you could see that kind of progression. And after a while, I was kind of like, well, it became kind of a bit of a distraction. Instead of kind of like, just focusing on the music, it kind of like became that kind of thing of like, I don't know, it became a bit of a rod for my back, and I just stopped focusing on it. So I don't really know. It's like I said, that's why I said like this question is quite difficult to answer, because I don't really know how far in it was when I started to be comfortable with my musical bit. I mean, in all fairness, I've always been comfortable with the guitar, even when I couldn't play the thing very well. I always felt at home with it. Hence, what I've said in previous videos, like, the guitar found me. I didn't find it. It found me when I needed it. You know what I mean? It was always waiting, but it was like, you're not ready yet. You're not ready. And when I was ready, it popped up. But I had to be ready for it. Music wasn't going to give me it unless I was ready, and rightly so. Because it knows way better than we do. So eventually, it found me, and there we are, and here we are today, and I'm extremely grateful. And I owe everything to music. I owe my being here talking to you now to music and the guitar. So, but I've always been comfortable with the guitar. Like I said, even when I couldn't play it, it felt perfect. It felt right. Even when I was really naff on the guitar. So I don't really know. I mean, the comfortable thing kind of came from the get-go. I've always loved it. And I've always felt comfortable live as well. I mean, I do get nervous and I get a bit panicky sometimes, but, that's this stupid thing in my head that does that. But I'm always comfortable up there. I really love it up there. I love playing live. It's one of my most loved things to do in the world is play live music. I just adore playing music for people. But when did I get comfortable? I really couldn't tell you. I really don't know. I couldn't pinpoint a specific year I was playing, but I was like, oh, this is, that thing. I honestly could not tell you. It just was, I just play, because I love it. And it's everything to me. And I don't really analyse it anymore. I don't want to analyse what I do anymore. I just play and I just push myself to be as good as I can be at any given moment in the situation I'm in, whether it be playing in here, whether it be playing live or rehearsal or jamming with people. I just have to be the best I can be at that point. So I always kind of push myself to that thing, but I don't really focus on kind of like, is your ability the best it can be, or is your technique the best it can be, or this and the other. I don't really focus on that, because I'm all about more trying to connect music with people instead of kind of like them just being wowed by technical ability. I want people to feel it. And I'm nowhere near that. I'm nowhere near as good as I would like to be. With that, it's just not there. It's just not even close. It really isn't. So that's what I'm working towards there. But as for kind of like, when did I start to feel comfortable? I've always felt comfortable with guitar. It's always been such a comfort to me. A real comfort to me. It's always been there when I've needed it, and since I started playing, obviously, but it's always been there when I've needed it. It's always been my shoulder to cry on and stuff like that. And the only problem with guitar is it can't hug you back. That's the only problem with guitar and music. You can feel it, but it can't hug you back, and sometimes you need that. But yeah, so, I mean, when did I become comfortable with my musical ability? I really couldn't tell you. I really don't know. I really don't. It's really hard to go then, because like I say, I've always felt comfortable with guitar and music. Music's always been right, if that makes any sense. So yes. I don't really know. I can't pinpoint a date. It's impossible. Anyway, I hope that's answered your question. I'm going to move on from that, because that's kind of as far as I can go with that without starting to repeat myself, which I do anyway, and just waffle on. So, I'm going to move on to question 2 now. And question 2 comes from a Patreon supporter. So thank you very much for your patronage. That word is now. So question 2 today is, what amp and guitar would you... What amp and guitar would be your first choice go-to setup for gigging and recording without pedals? So what amp and what guitar would I pick if I had to go to a gig or recording with no pedals? Very easy answer. Boss Katana Artist. Is this cheating? Technically, I suppose it is, because it's got inbuilt effects. But it's just one thing. There's no pedals. I could go to a gig with my Katana Artist and not miss a single pedal, apart from a wah-wah. But I could have a wah out the expression from a K-switch, but I haven't got that programmed. I haven't got an expression pedal. But that if I had to go without any pedals and just go straight into the amp with nothing in front of me, just the amp, the Katana Artist, because I could get through everything I needed to get through with just that amp. It's just insane. That amp is just, functionality-wise, I've broken my fingernail. I just realised. I was like, you know when you kind of like your nails break and they get caught on things? Anyway. But yeah, the Boss Katana Artist. I would happily go to any recording session with that amp as well and just use it for recording because it's just immense. It really is. Failing that, if it was an amp that didn't have effects, CR120. You know, because it's just, again, ridiculously versatile. And I have done gigs where I've just been plugged straight into the CR120 with no pedals at all, not even a wah-wah. And I've done entire gigs where I've just been straight into the CR120 and a 412 cab. So that'd be the other choice. If the amp wasn't allowed any inbuilt effects, the CR120 would be the one I would pick. But other than that, it'd be the Katana Artist because it's just an absolute monster. It blows my mind every time I plug into that thing. It blows my mind in the fact of like I've got all that in one place. It's insane. You know, it really is that amp that kind of I could just go to any gig, anywhere, anytime with just that amp and be happy. The K-switch, I'd be away. I wouldn't need anything else. I'd miss the wah-wah pedal, definitely. But I would be able to get around without it, if that makes any sense, apart from the intro to Voodoo Child. But probably wouldn't play Voodoo Child because of that. But I'd be quite happy to get around that if needed be. You know what I mean? I wouldn't kick up a stink about it, but I would look like a wah-wah pedal. I'd just take my Silvertop Vox. That and the K-switch, done. And so recording a gig, and that's what I would do. If somebody said, oh, can you come and record guitar? I would take that. You know what I mean? If somebody said, can you come do a gig? I would take that. Or if I had to do a trio gig where I could only, there's limited space or whatever, I would just use that. You know, I wouldn't mess around with it. Just make a beeline to the Katana Artist. Amazing amp. So yeah, that's it. You know, that was a quick answer, wasn't it? Easy answer though, really, to be honest with you. It's very straightforward. Like I say, if the amp wasn't allowed effects, it'd be the CR120, definitely. But the Katana Artist would be the beeline. Anyway. Okay, so I hope it's a question. Can move on to question 3 now. So, question 3 today has a couple of different bits, I believe. Yes, it does. So, question 3 today, part 1, is how much technical ability do you need to become good at improvisation? You need a fair bit, to be honest with you. I mean, you can improvise with kind of like not much technique, but it helps if you can get around the guitar. You know, if you haven't got much dexterity, improvisation can become a bit of a pig. You know, you need really good ability to kind of like, you know, to get up and down the guitar neck. You know, you don't want to be kind of like, you know, just kind of struggling going, you know, with very, very kind of basic technique. You know, you want to be able to kind of like, you know, span the neck fairly easily. So you're not kind of causing yourself any kind of major stress. So I think you need quite a bit of technical ability before you can be good at improvisation, because you know for improvisation as well, it needs to flow, and for it to flow half the time, I feel it means you don't look at the instrument, you just turn off. So you're not really you're not really thinking about what you're doing. It's just coming. Music is just feeding it through you. So, and to do that, I think like, you know, you need that technical ability quite cemented in there. You know, you need to know your scales. You need to know where you are on the neck. You need to know that, like, you know, that you're not going to get lost. So at any given point in any given key, you know where you are. You know, and that's you're not going to be able to do that if you have like no technical ability or no knowledge of the neck. You know, you need to understand different keys, different scales, 5% pentatonics, all that stuff. You need to know all that. And then, I mean, once that's kind of cemented in you and you can do that without thinking, that's when you can really fly with improvisation. But you can't really do it before then, because there's no way. You know, it's not. And music won't give you it either. Music knows if you're not ready, and it'll be like, nope. You need to practice this first. You know, get on that first. You know, and it knows better. Again, it knows better than we do. So, you need a fair amount of technical ability before you can become good at improvisation. You need to be able to get around the guitar. You need to know where you are in any given key. And you really do. Otherwise, you're just going to falter. You're just going to fall, and you're going to struggle like massively as well. So just bear that in mind. In my opinion, anyway. So the next part of question 3 kind of goes along with the same thing. So, should improvisation be practiced at an early in the early stages of learning guitar with limited technique and knowledge? Yeah, I mean, like I say, I wouldn't really. You're not going to be great at improvisation from the get-go, but I don't think there's any real time other than the present, better than the present, if you will, to start trying to learn to improvise. I mean. You mean you're not going to be great off the get-go, off the bat, especially if you've got limited technique and knowledge. You're not going to really know what you're doing or where you're going. But the more you do it, the more easy it'll come, kind of thing. So when you do get the technical side and the theory side under your fingers and in your brain, you can turn that then off and you can just kind of let it flow, so to say. So yeah, I mean, there's never, it's whenever you feel like it more than anything. There's no kind of like rules here. It's not a case of, I better not, or this, that, and the other. It's whenever you want, whenever you feel it's right. There's no point forcing something. You can't get a square peg in a round hole. There's no point. So it's just whenever you feel you're ready to do it. And if that means 3 weeks after you started playing guitar, you want to start improvisation, go for it. I mean, you're not going to be very good at it, but go for it. You never know. Where that'll lead you further down the line. It won't lead you anywhere straight off the bat because it can't, because no one can do that. But it will help you in the long run. And again, especially a bit more comfortable with making mistakes, which is key. Totally messing up on a solo is really important, I think. Really losing your way and having to find your way back and feeling embarrassed by it and kind of going, oh God, that was literally terrible. I think it's a really good thing. Failure is a good thing. We need to fail to learn. If you never failed, you'll never learn. So it's a really, really cool thing to do. But you've got to do it when you feel right, not when somebody says, "Oh, you need to do that now." It's up to you. It's a personal thing. So if you feel like you want to do it then or whatever, then you do it when you're ready. But not until you're ready. Don't let people sway you into doing something you're not ready to do. Otherwise, you're just going to end up in a really the wrong place. It's not a good place to be. So just bear that in mind. So anytime really. So the last part of question 3, because that's kind of covers that side. So the last part of question 3 is: do you recommend learning covers of other songs when practicing? Yes. I cannot overstate how important it is to learn songs enough in my life. There isn't enough hours in a day, in a year, in a lifetime for me to describe how important it is for you to learn covers all the way through, start to beginning. Start to beginning. Jesus. Sorry. Silly Dave. I do apologise. Start to beginning. Beginning to end. He got there in the end because he's clever. Anyway, yes, I cannot recommend that enough. Learning songs beginning to end, got it right that time, is so important. So important to your development as a musician, guitarist, bassist, drummer, whatever. And all the parts as well. Not just learning a bit of a song, not just learning the chorus because you like it, not just learning the verse because you like it, not learning the riff because you like it. Learn the song and play along with the song as much as you can, all the way through. No stopping between. If you make a mistake, keep going. Find your way back in. Do not stop it. Treat it as if it was a live performance. So you don't get second chances. You don't get to go, I'm going to start the song again. Well, sometimes you do, but it's not cool. So, yes, I cannot state how important that is to a developing musician to learn songs, learn covers, learn guitar solos from your favourite guitarist, whoever that may be. Learn different genres. If you're a rock guitarist, learn a reggae song. If you're a blues guitarist, learn a metal song. You know what I mean? Diversify, expand your mind, man. That kind of thing. You really do. It's really important. It's really important to learn full songs, not just bits. When I first started playing guitar, I became a real stickler for learning the entire song. I was never happy. To this day, I'm not happy as well. If I don't learn the entire song. If I don't know from beginning to end of a song, that's not good enough. You need to learn it all. You need to understand it all. To play it from front to back. But when I first started playing guitar, there were so many guitarists who I would hang around with who knew bits. They knew a riff. They knew the Enter Sandman riff, but they didn't know the rest of the song. They knew a bit of this, that, and the other, but they didn't know the song. They didn't know the rest of it. And it's like that was never enough for me. And I really feel that it's really important to be totally immersed in the song when you're learning it as well. Just kind of like, it's all there is. And when you're playing it, that's all there is. It really is. It's so important just to kind of like, just show your respect to the song and music. 100%. It's not about you. It's about the song. You've got to make it the best it can be, and you can't do that if you've only learned a bit of the song. So, I do apologise. I got hiccups, but yeah, it's really important to learn whole songs. It really is, and learning other people's solos, other people's licks. Taking those for yourself as well, stealing stuff. It's all really important for your development as a musician. Not just a guitarist or a bass player or a drummer or a violinist or a cellist or whatever. It's all part of it. You can start to develop your own voice through emulating others. This is my opinion. I'm sure some people will disagree with me, and that's cool. This is just me talking. But yeah, so yeah, I really can't recommend that enough. Learning other people's music, learning other people's songs is so important. It really is. Learning your favourite songs, not what this guy down the road says you should be learning. Learn what you want to learn as well. Make that really important kind of thing of like, if you want to learn nothing but AC/DC, learn nothing but AC/DC. You know what I mean? So yeah, I hope I've made some kind of sense anyway. I don't know. Guess who's there? But yeah, but it really is important to learn, covers. It really is learning other people's songs and playing along to them as well. Front to back. Now again, if you make a mistake in the middle, keep going. Find your way back into it. Don't get I want to say off put, but that's not the word. Don't get foxed by it. Like if you make a mistake, don't go, oh god, I'll get flustered as well. Don't get flustered. Don't go, oh my god, I can't do this. Calm yourself down and go, right, I know this song front to back, so let's get back into it. Let me find out where I am, and let me get back into it. Because that will help you in the long run really well. Not to run from mistakes, embrace mistakes. They are what they are. They happen. It's a point in time. You can't change it, so ride it. It's fine. So yeah. Anyway, I hope I made some kind of sense anyway, but fingers crossed. A bit terrified of that one. Okay, so going to move on to final question of the day already. Question 4. So question 4 today is, was your Slane Castle John Frusciante shirt custom made? And if so, who made it? It was custom made, yeah. The Slane Castle shirt was custom made. It was initially it was a YouTube fans kind of idea that they wanted to make it for me, and their friend made it. Basically, it's two shirts kind of tailored to make one. So it's a blue and a white shirt tailored together, and I still love it so much. And I'm going to start wearing it when we start gigging more as well, because it's a proper gig shirt, that one, and it's a homage to John, so can't go wrong there. And I believe John's was a homage to like Eric Clapton, who used to wear the same kind of thing. So it kind of it covers. Anyway, as does the shirt. I'm here all day. Okay, so you asked who made it. Now, I don't really want to say who made it because it was a one-off. I don't really want to say because I don't want loads of people just kind of like bombarding her and saying like, oh, can you make me one, that kind of thing. I don't want that to happen because I feel that's not fair on that person, because I know it was a one-off. You know what I mean? It was a favour, so to say, to do it. So I don't really want to say because I just don't think it's fair. I just don't think it's fair on that person. I don't want loads of things being thrown away on that one. So I would rather not say if that's okay, people cheer. I hope that makes sense. I hope you can understand that, but I don't really want to say because I just don't want to put that pressure on somebody. So I'd rather not say. I hope you understand anyway. Okay, so question 4, another part of question 4 is: do you like Mustangs and do you like Fender Mustangs and Supersonics? Yes, very much so. I prefer Mustangs. I thought it was Duosonics. I thought the Fender was a Duosonic. Supersonic's the amp, isn't it? The Duosonic's the guitar. So my sister's got a Duosonic, and it's really, really cool. And there's the Music Master as well, isn't there? They're really awesome guitars. I mean, I love the shape of the Mustang. Yeah, that Mustang shape. I love the way they sound. I love the way they feel. They're just so easy to play. They're cool as hell. And Kurt Cobain played one, so hey, can't really go wrong there. It was Kurt's favourite guitar, wasn't it? The Mustang, Mustang and the Jaguar. And that became the Jagstang, but Mustang was the guitar that he definitely associated. I always associate the Mustang with Kurt more than the Jaguar because I know it was his favourite. But he never really played them much. I mean, obviously on the Utero tour he played them all the time, the Mustang. But before that, it was kind of spotty, because you had you've got the Jag, you've got the Vandalism Strat, you've got the weird Tunematic Bridge Strat, you've got the White Strat, the Sunburst one he used at Reading Festival. What else? You got the Mose Rights as well, the Epiphone. And there was Mustangs in between that, but it was mainly kind of like, a lot of Kurt's touring was done with the Vandalism Strat and the Jaguar, and other guitars would pop up here and there, but those two are the kind of the mainstay. But I say when the Neutro came in, it kind of went to a Mustang more, and I love the Mustang. The Fiesta Red Mustang that Kurt had, be still my beating heart, gorgeous. I still wouldn't pick a Mustang or a Duosonic or any like that over Mr. Jag. I love the Jaguar more, but they are gorgeous. I really want a Mustang, actually. I'm going to have to get a Mustang at some point because they're just so cool. And they do a certain thing. They sound a certain way, and they're really, really, they're special guitars, Mustangs are. They really are cool. But yeah, I do love them. Duosonics, Mustangs, Music Masters, amazing guitars. Really, really awesome guitars. Which do I prefer out of those? I prefer the Mustang. Out of the Duosonics, the Music Master, and the Mustang, I prefer Mustangs because they're amazing. And you can get all sorts of different cool sounds out of them with the slidey selector switches. They're a really versatile guitar, and they're just so easy to play because they're small and they're tiny. And it's the same scale length as the Jag. It's really tiny, and they're just so comfortable to play. They're amazing. So yeah, I definitely prefer Mustang out of all of them. But like I say, I mean, when it comes down to it, I would still pick a Jag over when we're talking about offsets. I would still pick a Jaguar over the Mustang. I would definitely pick this over a Jazzmaster. I do not like Jazzmasters at all. I don't like the way they feel. I don't like the way they sound. They just don't work for me at all. And I've tried so many of them. I've really wanted to like Jazzmasters. And every time I pick one up, I'm just like, nope. Maybe one day I might find one that works for me, but I'm yet to find that. And I've played so many Jazzmasters, vintage and new. It's like I'm yet to pick up a Jazzmaster and go, wow, that's awesome. Every time I pick up a Jazzmaster, I'm like, that just sounds wrong to me. I just don't like them at all. It just doesn't fit my ear. The Jag though, the Jag is like, if somebody said to me, and I've said this before so many times, but if somebody said to me, oh, you're not allowed to play Stratocasters anymore, you're just not allowed to play Strats, I would just play Jaguars all the time because they're just so immense. This one especially. I adore this guitar. Bonk me glasses. Anyway, this guitar is ridiculous. When did I get this guitar? 2016? Yeah, I've had this guitar since 2016. Like I say, it's a Squier Vintage Modified that I've refinished white, and I did the scratch plate, and it's just... Oh yeah, and I made the matching headstock as well, because I always wanted a white Jag, tortoiseshell scratch plate, and the matching headstock. So that's what I customised this, but it is a Squier, as you can see on the neck. I don't know how they use it on the neck plate. but it's how I want it to look. You know, it's amazing. I really wanted the matching headstock because that's so cool. That is so cool. And look at the font on Jaguar. That little flick on the R is immense. It's just heaven. Absolutely gorgeous. But yeah. So like I said, I wouldn't. If it was a choice between Mustang and a Jaguar, I'm gonna go Jaguar route. Anyway, so last part of question for today, people tube, is what's your opinion on Omar Rodriguez Lopez? I don't really have an opinion on him, to be honest with you. He's not a guitarist on my radar. I had a Mars Volta phase many moons back where his guitar playing was really interesting to me, but he never really kind of got to the level where he stuck with me. So I don't really have an opinion. Great guitarist, great musician, you know, but I don't really have an opinion, and definitely not one that really matters either, and shouldn't matter to anybody because of it. You know what I mean? I don't listen to Mars Volta really much anymore at all, really, to be honest with you. So that kind of ran its course for me. So I don't really have an opinion, and again, definitely don't have an opinion that's enough for it to be, you know, worth anything if I said it. So I don't really, he's not really on my radar of guitarists. You know, he's really not. So yeah, I don't really know what to say other than that. Really, there's not really anywhere else I can go with it. But I mean, I respect him as a musician and a guitarist. I think he's brilliant, but it's not really my kind of style. I don't, that kind of thing. But like I say, not on the radar, as I would say. There's no blip for him, so to say. So I can't really go any further than that, really. Anyway, So anyway, I hope those questions okay. If I haven't, I do apologise immensely. If you want to submit a question for A&Q Wednesday, people tube, description box below has an email link. Email me there, and I'll get to it. Is there anything else I need to say? No, it doesn't. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this A&Q. I hope I answered your questions okay, and I will see you again on Friday for another vid. What is Friday's vid? I forget. I don't remember now. Anyway, I don't remember. It's on my calendar. I don't have to remember it then. So I'll see you on Friday anyway. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening, and I'll see you again. Goodbye now. Thank you very much indeed. Have this. Bye. So see you later. Goodbye now. That was a bit weird actually. I'm never going to do that again. Don't worry. That was one off.